All right, guys, while we're all in quarantine right now, over 150 countries are being impacted by this. Just because the whole world seems to be shutting off does not mean you need to be shutting your business down. You need to be turning it on full speed. And right now on social media, to grow a business with social media is the best time we've seen in probably a decade. We're going to be talking about why, some specific things you can do right now to grow your business. My partner from the Social Strategy Mastermind, Mike Sherrard, is on the call with me. We're going to be breaking down why advertising is so low right now, why attention is high with everybody sitting at home, and why social media is the best place to be building your business anywhere right now. So welcome to the call, Mike. Let's talk about social media and what you can do right now while in quarantine to continue on growing your business.
What's up, man? Thank you so much for the intro. As you alluded to, we were just talking on our mastermind with Gerard Adams yesterday with the guy that does the personal branding and social media for some of the biggest names in the world, including Jordan Belfort, Manny Koshman, and all of these, elite level performers. And what he was saying is that, he's referring this to the Tai Lopez era where the cost for attention, you hear Gary Vaynerchuk talking about he's day trading attention. Well, the cost for day trading attention right now is like penny stocks, for lack of a better example, using your recent video, but it's never been cheaper. It's never been more effective. And if you look at what Tai Lopez did back in the day, he looked at an opportunity back in, 2008, 2009 to simply buy attention on pennies for the dollar. And then he scaled because he was in front of the entire world. We have that same opportunity right now, especially as real estate agents, in order to, while the rest are sitting back in quarantine, not doing anything, taking their foot off the gas, you've got an incredible opportunity right now to put the pedal to the metal and really build your brand awareness and build the personal brand so that when the dust settles and you come out on the other side, you're going to be absolutely crushing it. And you're going to have so much business flooding to you just because you decided to take this time to really double down. So I'm super excited for this call. And I think we're going to really be able to provide a lot of value talking about the 8 things that people can do from the comfort of their house during quarantine to still scale their business during this time while others are sitting back watching Netflix and drinking Bud Light.
I know. And think about this. So guys, you have attention, you have time, you have dollars, all these things go into a business. And it's not just the money being pulled out of the stock market, it's time being pulled out of every industry. So right now you have competitors that were competing in your marketplace. They're not competing right now, which means those who are ramping it up can take opportunities that weren't there just a month ago. Same thing with advertising dollars. A lot of your competitors are retracting. They're not spending as much, which is why what Mike just said, advertising costs are low. So if you have the ability to crank that credit card right now or put that check in the marketplace, you're probably going to extend your reach that you couldn't do before. So a dollar is going farther than it was just a month ago, which is why this is so powerful. Now, guys, if you want to learn more about what Mike and I do, we run the Social Strategy Mastermind. There's links below. We pretty much teach people how to run a business through social media. Mike is an Instagram expert. We both have large YouTube channels, as you're on right now in the real estate space, specifically for real estate professionals, investors, and agents. And we're going to be really talking about how to use video marketing a lot on those mastermind calls going forward. But it's a monthly mastermind call. You want to talk about that, Mike, kind of what we do there a little bit more, and then I will dig into some of the things that you guys can be doing in your business right now to scale. And not only scale aggressively and quickly, faster than you've been able to do in the past couple of months, because everybody's sitting at home doing one thing, watching people on social media.
Yeah, definitely. If you watch Connor and I, evidently you are right now, we practice what we preach. You can see our video output frequency increasing during this time, going from 2 videos a week to 5 to 7 videos a week. So we are doing what we tell people to do. And that's really important to understand because there's a lot of people that talk based on theory and we talk based on practice. So, as Connor said, we are going to be, continuing to dial deep, and the feedback in the mastermind has been absolutely incredible. We've been seeing people get outside their comfort zone, take the leap of faith, put out their first videos and get a lot more comfortable scaling their business, as well as creating multiple income streams, which is a really important aspect during times like this. And, because you guys are on this call and because of the quarantine situation, initially when Connor and I launched this a few months ago, we had an offer to sign up for $1 for the first month and then $47 every month after that. Since then, because we had an influx of people that kind of surpassed our expectations, we bumped up the price. But now, because of this time going on, we're going to extend that offer for the quarantine. So $1 to sign up and then $47 every month after that. And again, people are giving us feedback saying that on one 1 hour call on a certain any given week, they're learning more than courses that they bought for $500 to $1,000. So Connor and I are doing this in order to give back as much as humanly possible. The feedback's been incredible. The agents are growing. They're learning new things. And, we just want to help scale people, during this time. I think it's an incredible opportunity. And if you can learn now, now is the time. So I'm super excited to share these things. I've got my little notebook here, and it's time to give some people some value and show you how you can be properly leveraging your time in quarantine while the others are, stepping back, waiting for some sort of, golden nugget news.
I mean, I know you're in a lot of different masterminds. I've been a lot on and off over the years as well. And so what is going on? I know you were just in a couple this week. What is the kind of the overall consensus of the marketplace? What are people doing? Are people ramping up efforts in certain areas, retracting in certain areas? What did you kind of get a feel for this last week, sitting in some of these masterminds from different little niche areas of the country where people are kind of mastermind together, trying to figure out what to do in this time when there's so much uncertainty?
Yeah, definitely. We had our big Q1 summit yesterday with Gerard and some of the most incredible entrepreneurs in the world. And a lot of it was personal brand heavy. Almost the entire all day event from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. was on personal branding. And everybody was talking about how now is the time to build your personal brand. Because, if you listen from a realtor's perspective, the realtors that win aren't the best sales agents. They're the ones that the most people know. And right now, you have an incredible opportunity to get to know a lot of people on a deeper level if you follow the things that I'm going to share with you in this video. And if you can warm these people up, here's the key that you need to understand is right now is not the time to generate leads. It's not lead generation time. It's not middle of funnel. There's a middle of funnel for a reason, because there's a top and a bottom as well. You have cold leads, warm leads, and hot leads. You have cold audiences that have never heard of you. You've got warm audiences where you're trying to get lead generation, and hot people ready to pull the trigger, buy, sell, or invest. Right now is cold audience time. Right now is your time to build massive brand awareness, to scale using the cheap attention costs on social media and become hyper aware in your local market, while the rest are becoming forgotten every single day that they're not taking action. So again, right now, the biggest thing that everybody's talking about is personal brand. It's not lead generation. It's not paid advertising. It's building your brand to the point where you become top of mind, and not just become top of mind, but stay top of mind and create sort of the same experience that people like Ryan Serhant, Josh Altman, and these other entrepreneurs have created. Why, if you were in New York, if you talked about real estate, do you think of, as soon as you think real estate, you think Ryan Serhant? Why is that? He's got the strongest personal brand. He's hyperactive on social media as well as TV, and people want to work with him. And you want to create that same experience for yourself where people want to work with you. They're not thinking about iBuyers. They're not thinking about Amazon coming into real estate. They're not thinking about technology, sitting on Google because they want to buy a house thinking, what new technology can I use to buy a house for cheaper? They think that one person. And that's what you want to create for yourself, is an experience where people just simply want to work with you because you're freaking awesome.
I mean, a lot of people are so concerned about what their company's name is, what their brokerage is, the things that are on a higher level, not their personal brand and their own marketplace. Guys, if you build a big enough personal brand, it doesn't matter what company you're at, attention is going to follow you. But right now, the other thing to point out is not just the advertising dollars are lower, attention is higher because everybody's sitting inside. So the amount of minutes being watched on YouTube has dramatically increased. When you don't go out to dinner to eat with your significant other, or you're not coaching your kid's soccer team because everything's shut down, people are sitting inside, which means there's more attention on social media, which means there's more opportunity to pick up views, to double down, triple down the amount of videos you're putting out. So Mike, you, just like myself, ramped up to daily videos here because, I mean, obviously it's just, you can get more out of the time spent right now than you could a month ago.
You look at every week if you have an iPhone, you get a little pop-up saying what your screen time was. Well, the average screen time per user on mobile phones over the last week has increased by 80%. That's insane. Most times you're going to get an increase of like 18% if there's a natural disaster or something like that. 80% is absolutely mental. So this is an incredible opportunity. I'm excited to share these things with you. So, it's time for you guys to truly double down during this time of quarantine and leverage it to scale. Because again, opportunities like this only come around once every 10 or so years. Now the world has given it to you. So if you don't leverage this, I deeply believe that you're going to regret it when things come back, because if you don't build your brand now, start batching your stuff and, using the things I'm going to share with you here, when the dust settles and this thing ends, you're going to be in a place where you're just trying to get caught back up. You're going to try and run before you walk again. You're going to be tripping over your own feet, stumbling. You're going to be doing things very inefficiently, very ineffectively, and you're really going to struggle. The last thing you're going to think about is how to build your brand. And the problem with that is that you're going to be rushing back into doing business the exact same way you did it previously, which, as we're going to talk about, is not going to work for too much longer as the industry starts to change and as we have things like this coming in and forcing change on such an archaic industry.
Yeah, so sometimes when things are crazy like this, they can become a blessing. And you guys are so busy all the time in your core business activities that you have maintenance tasks, to-do lists that you always roll to the end of the day, and you never get to them. Accounting, organizing your room, catching up on your taxes, batching your videos to get ahead. Guys, if you've ever tried to create a lot of content, you know the frustration when you have to put a video out that day and you haven't made a video that day. This is a huge opportunity to get ahead for the next 2-3 months while title companies are shut down, while normal business are shut down. Your normal to-do list that you usually focus on, which is the highest priority, is no longer able to be done, which means this is the best time to catch up on all those little things that hold you down throughout the year that you can really get ahead of right now, so that when things spring back, they're not on your to-do list anymore. You can go back to your core focus while everybody else still has these on their list to do. Now, what are some of the things you're doing, Mike, right now? I know that we've talked about this quite a bit, but what's the first thing that you're going to be focusing on during this kind of quarantine period while you can't traditionally do the same activities that you're used to doing?
Yeah, definitely. So I've got my little list here, so I'll try and bang them out so that, and again, guys, take notes and also drop a comment below if you guys have anything that you're doing right now, or if you have any questions about some of the stuff that we're doing. We want to see you guys engaged. We want to hear how things are going in your market right now, and if you're struggling with anything that you want. So drop a comment below right now and make sure that you bust out your pen and paper, because it's time to go. So of course, the first thing that you just alluded to is batching your content, right? We're at a place where it takes so much time to get set up, get in the right mindset. The mindset's actually the toughest part. Setting up the time and editing it and finding the topics and everything like that is really exhaustive. So right now I've got the next 2 months of content sitting on my YouTube channel unlisted. And of course, I'm creating new videos as it goes, just because I want to touch on relevant topics, but if I don't have to. And that's a really comforting place to be, because oftentimes it's such a struggle to be focusing on deal flow and closing deals and networking and building your business, that content is the last thing on your mind. So right now, while you're in quarantine, what better time is there to take 4 hours out of an afternoon where you're stuck inside anyway and create, 2 videos for the next week, right? So if you can take, probably get an entire month's worth of content done in 4 hours. If you want to do 8 videos, right? 2 videos a week, that's enough to get started. And again, talking about the fact that right now you've got an opportunity to batch content, you have a lot of opportunity to batch content that's very relevant to the people in your market, talking about how the entire pandemic is affecting your real estate market from the perspective of buyers, sellers, investors, talking about any of the other implications from a small business perspective, or looking at any of the updates on the pandemic from, Trump, and saying, how is that affecting your market? You've got an incredible opportunity to stay relevant, create content during a time of high engagement, as well as scalability. So I think batching your content is the first one. The second one that I think is really important is learning a new skill. Oftentimes, because again, I coach real estate agents, so do you, Connor, and we have a lot of people that reaching out to us saying, I've always wanted to learn how to do Facebook ads. I've always wanted to learn, how to get better at sales, or maybe you're not that good at cold calling or prospecting or door knocking or foreclosures, pre-foreclosures. There's so many things that you've always wanted to learn. The one thing that I need to urge and stress to you right now is you need to learn at least one new skill during the time of quarantine. Whether that, again, be Facebook ads. I've got an entire playlist for free on my YouTube channel that you can go check out, showing you step-by-step how to do Facebook ads yourself for free. So learn something new so that when the dust settles, because again, we don't know if this is going to be a 2-month issue. We don't know if it's going to be an 8-month issue. You want to come out of this with something new to add to your business that will help take you to the next level. And I think, again, you want to shy away from falling victim to the same thing that every other agent's doing, which is when the dust settles, you're going to be back to the same crap you were doing previously that is not working. You want to grow during this time. Learn a new skill. A couple more things that I really want to talk about, which is item number 3 and 4, are talking about things related to the community. This is a time where your clients are seeking comfort. This is an incredible opportunity for you to reach out to past, current, and potential clients. Us as real estate agents, we often struggle to naturally reach out to clients or prospects with intent without coming across as salesy. Because usually our database, if they see Mike Sherrard's calling, they instantly know, I'm going to pick up the phone and say, hey, what's going on? How's life? Do you know anybody looking to buy, sell, or invest? Well, that's not a very warming call. And oftentimes that really pushes your past, existing, and potential clients away, because it goes from feeling like, you just give to a take. And that's a really bad way to do business. But right now, people do have questions. It doesn't matter if you're looking to sell, it doesn't matter if you're looking to buy or invest, or if you're currently thinking about that. People are looking for comfort and they want answers, even if it's unrelated to real estate. Sometimes they just want to know what's happening with local small business or what's going on in your market. So reach out to your clients right now, all of them, and just see what you can do for them. Don't ask if they need anything real estate related. Don't even ask if they're curious about how this is going to affect their house. Just simply ask, in a time of need, do you need anything from me? Is there anybody I can put you in touch with? Is there any sort of service that I can be of to you during this time? Because again, looking at that top of funnel, even though they've been a hot lead, you want to treat them like a cold lead. You want to say, hey, how can I warm you up? How can I do anything for you during this time? And just be that one that they can trust in and see value. Because if they can confide in you, or if they can see during a time of chaos and crisis that you were the one that reached out, asking if you can do anything for them, while the rest were just looking at what they can do in terms of taking, that's going to put you in their good books, and you're going to win a whole whack of brownie points during that. The next one is providing value to your community. I'm going to share a couple really interesting things with you that agents across North America are doing in some of my mastermind groups. So this is a great time to provide value to your community. Again, one of the things that some of the agents are doing in the States right now that I'm good friends with is they actually started doing a weekly Zoom call with their community. So basically every week they have a group call, and now there's way over 50 people on that call, and they're just chatting about what's going on in the market. How are things going in the community? Is there anybody that needs help? Is there any assistance that needs to happen? Is there anybody that's struggling right now and could use some extra care? What's happening with the local businesses in your community? Anything like that, anything community related. And now the agents that are doing that, again, when was the last time you just built 50 extremely warm connections with people in your neighborhood within a week span? Almost never. It's almost unheard of. So this is an incredible opportunity for you to start thinking selflessly about helping the others in your area. And again, if you were the organizer, if you were the catalyst of bringing people together during a time of need and crisis, you don't have to say that you're a real estate agent. You don't have to pitch that. They're going to check out your Facebook profile. They're going to see what you're about. They will know, and they will find out themselves who you are. But if you were the one that brought people together during a time of need, you are going to be in the good books for the foreseeable future. So another thing that I think is really good is doing community updates. A lot of local businesses are shutting right now. A lot of negative things are going on, but there's a lot of positive things going on. So in terms of the negative things, again, I think it's really important to highlight the need of supporting local businesses during this time where they are really struggling. Whether you want to do a Zoom call, jump on, talk about, do a weekly highlight for a new business that you think could be really great to show love to right now, or if there's, again, on the positive note, there is a lot of good going on right now. There's a lot of food banks doing a lot of donations. There's a lot of philanthropy going on. There's a lot of good stuff that you can share. And again, I think in a time of need where everybody's talking about the pandemic and the crisis, everybody's talking about the negative influences in the world, if you can be the one that takes a step sideways and zigs while everybody's zagging and say, hey, I know this is going on, but look at all the positive stuff that's going on in our community. Look at all the things people are doing, banding together, donating, supporting, volunteering, and giving back during a time of need. Look how awesome our community is. And if you're the one that, again, brings that together and is showing people some of the positive, giving them some hope during a time of loss, again, that's one of the most incredible things that you can be doing right now. Number 5. This is something that Connor and I are huge proponents of and huge advocates of, is finding inefficiencies in your life in terms of your budget and also your schedule. 2 things that are very heavily overlooked, and we can jam out about this before I go into the other ones, Connor, but I think right now is a really important time for, again, take a step back, take a deep breath, look at where you are allocating. I like to use the team model. Where were you allocating your time, energy, attention, money? team. That acronym will save your life. Look at where you're allocating each one of those aspects and find inefficiencies, because again, all of us were in such a go market. I've been in a recession for 5 years. So nothing's changed in my life. But for a lot of people that were in the bullish market of what's going on in the United States right now, you didn't have time to find inefficiencies because you were just trying to get by and close deals as they came. Right now, you've got an incredible opportunity to look at where you were inefficiently spending money on things that you didn't need. You can start to find ways to save and lean out your budget. And you can also look at things of where you were spending time, because if you look at Alzheimer's law, basically what it says is that if you give yourself 12 hours to do a certain task, you're going to take 12 hours to do a certain task. If you give yourself 8 hours to do the same task, you'll likely finish it. There's a lot of people, again, that are doing things like prospecting, lead follow-up, and all sorts of business activities that we have to do in order to grow our business on a daily basis, but they're giving themselves too long to do those. And oftentimes, if you shorten that window, you're going to become hyper productive during that time and find yourself getting a lot more done, as well as adding some balance to your life to have more time back to spend with your family, friends, and loved ones, because you're finding these inefficiencies in your schedule. So before we go into 6, 7, and 8, Connor, why don't we jam for a second about budget and schedule?
I mean, very rarely do you guys get a pause button in life. Life is ferocious. It's a very fast pace. And right now you're getting a slowdown. You need to really audit your situation, your finances, your personal relationships. I think a lot of you guys need to look back over the past year or two and think about who you've spent your time with in the business world, in the personal world. Are you getting a benefit from spending time with some of these people going forward? Because a lot of you guys are being held back by certain people that are really affecting you. And so that's one thing I'd be looking at right now. Study kind of what's happened over the past year or two, what's been working good, what's been working not so good for you, and decide where you want to go going forward. So kind of use this time to plan and prepare going forward, because preparation is the key to success. Now, another thing is think about what you've been doing in your business. Is it the best use of your time? You have an opportunity cost always in life. And if you're trading your time towards one marketing strategy or one client strategy, what if you could be trading your time in a different direction that could amplify your income many times over than what you're trading your time for right now? So also think about how you're doing what you're doing. You hear Mike talks very quickly. I talk very quickly. Most successful people talk quickly, but they also read fast, write fast, type fast, listen to Audible on 2.0x speed. So it's not just always what you do, but how you do it, and start thinking about using this time while you're kind of in this pause period of your life where things have really slowed down. Take a speed reading course, take a speed typing course, take a speed writing course. Guys, this is going to take the same income producing activity that you're doing. Let's say you're reading twice as fast. You just compressed an hour down into 30 minutes. Now you can read twice as much. What do you think that's going to do for your income? So if you can take an income producing activity from an hour to 30 minutes and trade your same time into that exact same activity, you just doubled your income essentially. So start thinking of things that you can do. Cut out some monthly subscriptions for CRM programs, lead generation things that you're not using, and kind of just start really kind of slowing things down and auditing your situation is the best thing I could say is what I'm doing actually myself in my own personal business.
Yeah, big time, man. I think that's so incredible, and I think it's very easily overlooked, and oftentimes, we just accept it because that which you do not hate, you eventually tolerate. Right? Great quote. And if you don't hate how things are going, you're going to tolerate it. So a lot of people know they're inefficient. A lot of people know they're ineffective, but they tolerate it because they don't yet hate it. Right now, you don't have to deal with the hate versus, toleration, because you have an opportunity to take a step back and start to work on that. And again, similar to what Connor said, is it's not always what you do, it's how you do it, right? I just finished this 75 hard fitness program. I see a lot of people, when I posted my progress picture, a lot of people were saying it was the best progress picture they've seen for anybody that did 75 hard. Well, that's because when I did 75 hard, I wasn't just going to the gym and going through the motions. I was going to the gym and going to the point of failure and physical exhaustion every single time. There's a lot of people that did 75 hard, but they look decently better after, but it wasn't extraordinary because, yeah, they were going to the gym, but they were going through the motions, working out the same way they were working out before. Prospecting is the same way. It's like, anybody can pick up the phone and dial 300 numbers, but how many times are you dialing 300 numbers and doing every single thing in your power to get a name, email, phone number? A lot of people let them off the hook. They're like, all right, if my coach, said get 300 calls a day, if I got 300 calls a day, I feel like I just did my job. No, it's better to get 100 calls a day, but get a 5x in terms of conversion rate with those people. So again, don't just look at what you're doing, look at how you're doing it.
Man,
Let's bang out these.
Yeah, I was
Go
just going to
for
say,
it.
a lot of people don't understand that there's working and then there's working. There's a lot of people think being present is working. If you're not increasing activity that produces income while you're doing something, you're not really working. So a lot of people put a 12, 14-hour day in, they get to the end of the day, they know they've worked hard, they know they've been active, busy all day, but nothing's been accomplished. You need to have focused hours of work on income producing activities, not maintenance tasks, not things that do not bring you, push you forward. So you need to focus where you're putting your time, because a lot of people just like to be busy, yet they're not making money.
Exactly. It's the huge, the dynamic between busy and productive, right? Two different things. Oftentimes you ask a realtor, oh, how are things going in your life? They're like, oh, I'm so busy, but how productive are you? Right. And that's the reason why a lot of people are very busy and they've got no time, but they've also got no money, is because they're very busy, but they're not very productive. I'll bang out these last three, and then we'll wrap up with so many last minute notes that I think people should really take a stab at while this is going on. So the sixth thing that I want to touch on, we kind of already touched on it a little bit, but I think it's really important to understand, is focusing on cold audience, not warm or hot audience right now. Because at a time of need, if you're stepping in trying to convert leads, again, it's very selfish and it's not what people are thinking about. Even though the cost per attention right now is very low, that doesn't mean you should start pumping out lead generation ads. That means that you should go hyperactive on building your brand and awareness ads, providing value, creating a video that is, again, highlighting what's going on with the pandemic in your community and boosting that. No lead generation. If you're doing Facebook ads, use the marketing objective of either video views or brand awareness, the two marketing objectives you should use for this ad, and pump it out there and just get in front of people. Because what you're going to see is that if you pump out enough brand awareness ads and not go for the ask, not go for the take, but go for the give every single week, when you come out of this, you're going to have such a massive audience to build a powerful retargeting list with, because now you've gone from getting in front of 5,000 people a month to 100,000 people per month. Your retargeting power to convert them into leads once the dust settles is going to be far superior than any other opportunity you've had before. So focus on top of funnel, warming people up, getting people to just know you. That's the only goal right now, is just to get people to know you. It's not to convert them. Get them to know you. And then when everything passes, you're going to have a huge pipeline of people that are ready to rock. Number 7, look at how you're making money. This is a big wake-up call for a lot of realtors right now. Again, if I was doing real estate how I did, pre second half of 2017 or 2019, sorry, where I was just focusing on transactions and that was my only single source of income, I'd be panicking right now. I would be struggling right now, and I'd be in the same mental state of worry as a lot of people. But I'm not. I'm very comfortable right now because I've built multiple revenue streams into my life that are covering my carrying costs. So if I don't do another deal for another 5 years, it doesn't make a difference to me. But I'm at a place where I've got these revenue streams that are coming and are actually growing because of the way that I structured my business during this time. I know, Connor, you're a huge expert at this, and you've managed to build very strong residual and very rigid, robust pipelines of additional revenue, so that, again, you're prepared for something like this. And then, as we've been doing this week, we've been jamming out on the stock markets, capitalizing on opportunities because we've got free disposable income, knowing that the recurring revenue from our additional revenue streams covers our living costs. So when you're at a point like, where this happens and it presents itself with opportunity, you're not saying, wow, I have to miss out on this opportunity because I'm struggling to pay my rent next month. I've got the ability to cover this opportunity and capitalize on it because I've built it into my pipeline where I've got money coming in, paying for my life. And now I can use the free cash I have to potentially triple or 5x it.
Right. I've been talking about this for years, why this is important to have multiple streams of income, because that's kind of when I started out making big money the first time. I had one income stream. It disappeared overnight, literally on April 15, 2011. I still remember that day. And if you have one income stream, you're living a very risky life. Start thinking of a second or third or fourth income stream. And I've always been preaching ever since that moment, you should have 3 income streams at least cover your mortgage or your house payment. That way, if one goes out, you're not reliant on that next one, because if you have 2 and one goes out, you're back to one income stream, back in that same pressure point. So when you have 3, you're in a pretty good kind of feeling of comfort here, that you'd have to have a big blow right now. Even with what's going on right now, I have some businesses actually doing better because of this, and some are going to, I don't think they're going to make it. Just to be honest, I may shut them down because the time putting into those businesses right now, it's not worth it. I'll turn them back on when things turn around. But you should start thinking of a secondary and third income stream. And there's actually be a way for you to partner with Mike and I. Go follow Mike's channel, Mike Sherrard. His channel's absolutely blowing up. And that's another way to build income is through YouTube advertising, as well as creating information products, courses, affiliate marketing, things that you're already doing, or things that you already have an audience or a network that you can leverage right now, guys. There's lots of little things that you can do. I mean, one thing right now, a lot of you guys have stuff sitting inside. Y'all can just go sell it on eBay and bring in some extra income right now, maybe even enough to cover next month's mortgage, right? So start thinking of just little things that you can increase your income, but mainly start thinking about residual income streams that you trade your time for once that pay you over and over and over. And social media is the best way, in my opinion, to create leverage right now. Mike has hundreds of videos. I have hundreds of videos. These are little internet soldiers out there fighting for us right now, while we're creating another one right now that's going to drive business to us while we go create another income stream or trade our time to create another video that keeps driving income after that video has been created. So start thinking of stuff or things in your business that are not just trade time, get paid once and only once, trade time, get paid over and over and over, that can protect you, because you will have a life liability, children, grandchildren, parents, taking care of older parents, a car wreck. Mike was telling me earlier about how he fell off his mountain bike, took him out for a long time. If you are having your entire business solely circulating one income stream that requires time to create that income stream, you guys are in a very risky position. I think this is a wake-up call for a lot of you guys to transition a different forecast of how your business is going to look going forward.
Yeah, definitely, man. Everything that you should be doing it should be focused on scalability, duplication, and leverage, right? So if you focus on those things, you're going to put yourself in a way better situation. On the Q1 summit yesterday that we had with our coaches, there's people that are making a lot of money right now. There was a person in the group that made $150,000 last week alone. Yet I saw a stat the other day saying that 1/3 of small businesses in Canada aren't going to make it through this. Like, it's not like they're going to reopen after this. They're shut for life, done. And that's a terrible place to be, because a lot of these businesses have products that they could have turned into e-commerce and could have scaled online and made themselves, a lot less susceptible to situations like that. So, man, to wrap things up, the last thing that I really wanted to share with people is the last tip, last strategy: don't slack off. Do not mess this up, guys. We are telling you from confidence, from experience, from data-driven facts that this is an opportunity, and it's not going to come again for a long while. We don't know how this is going to last. One thing that you need to understand is speed. Speed and timing is everything, and the best timing just happened. Now it's time to pick up your pace, right? You see a lot of people that talk about business and real estate, or life is a marathon, right? Well, here's one of the things that my great mentor Ed Milet was talking to us about, is the fact that, if I told you to go run 5 miles right now, you'd pace yourself and you'd start jogging. But if I told you to run to the other end of the room, you'd run as quick as possible. The ones that win in life are the ones that sprint the marathon the entire way, because they don't know when it's going to end. You don't know when this pandemic and this quarantine and the crisis is going to end. It could end in 2 weeks. And if you didn't seize these 2 weeks as an opportunity to do the things that we just shared in this video, you're going to regret it. If it lasts 8 months, well, keep sprinting, because you just don't know. So don't take the foot off the gas. Now is the time to triple down. Look at the actions that Connor and I are taking. We're doubling up. We're going all in. And I want to see you guys do the same, because again, people that have been through the dot-com boom, the recession in 08, 09, and are living through this right now, who all are very successful entrepreneurs, $50 million plus, are all saying that this is the next greatest opportunity. Everybody's saying it. If you don't capitalize on this, shame on you. And I hope, what you're going to see is that this will impact you going forward. So hopefully this video that with Connor and I, again, is something that's going to help you leverage this time in quarantine in order to become productive and actually scale while others are crumbling, in a sense, right? So,
it comes down to this. It all comes down to watching, right? Are you watching Netflix, or are people watching you on social media build your personal brand? Where do you want the attention? Where are you going to put your time? Because you have the choice right now. Some are going to make excuses, and they're going to use this. They're already making excuses, but a lot of people are going to use this as the big excuse of why they're not doing something. Guys, you need to use this to kind of grow your business at a pace that you couldn't traditionally do, especially with your social media. I know a lot of them are struggling to kind of figure out how to get started or what to do, and they've already gotten started, and they're trying to figure things out with these different platforms: IG, Instagram, IG, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, podcasting, like we're doing right now. Let's talk about the Social Strategy Mastermind. How did I get there? We have a website. Guys, $1 right now. We're giving you a chance to come in here 4 hours, one live call each week. If it's not worth continuing on, your biggest risk, $1. If you're getting the value, you're going to continue on popping in there. So what do you think, Mike? Send them over there.
Yeah, guys. Again, check the link in the description, and we'd love to have you in there. The feedback couldn't be better. Again, people are sending me, blowing up my DMs after every call, saying how valuable it's been and how it's completely changed the way they're doing business. Because Connor and I, again, are advocates of practicing what we preach, not talking based on theory. There's a lot of people out there that you can watch on YouTube. You can go into YouTube right now and type in, how to build my personal brand as a realtor, how to do Facebook ads as a realtor. But oftentimes it's not realtors actually showing you how to do it. We know the industry. We are in the industry. So we know firsthand how to do everything on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, creating multiple revenue streams, all from a realtor's perspective. So we can give you firsthand experience that Connor and I have all done. Again, I went from being 24, not known in my city, no experience, to becoming recognized as one of the top 30 realtors in the world on social media in 10 months. We are sharing with you all of the tips, tricks, and strategies that we use in order to get to the point where we are. And the one of the best things is the fact that you don't have to go through the learning curve. Connor and I took a lot longer to get to where we are because we had no coach, we had no mentor, we had no blueprint to follow. So what we've been doing in the mastermind is giving people on a weekly basis a blueprint. And also, one of the best parts about the mastermind is the fact that we've got a Facebook group where people can join. So we've got a private Facebook group where people are engaging with each other. They're sending each other referrals. They're watching each other's YouTube videos, posting for the first time to get raw, honest feedback before they put it public. It's a great way to build connections with other like-minded individuals that are also looking to scale their business. If you're in the mastermind, you're showing and raising your hand that you are a hustler, you are ambitious, you are driven, you do want to do business and real estate the modern way, not the traditional archaic way. So the people in the group are awesome. I absolutely love them. I've become very good friends with a lot of people in that group. They jam out, we have conversations on a weekly basis, even outside of the group. And it's really incredible to see the amount of support, especially during a time like this where you need to be investing more into self-development and building your business and less on things that, you otherwise didn't need, like skip the dishes the last 5 days.
I mean, these are live calls, guys. You can hop on there. Mike and I are both on there. You can ask us questions. We'll take a look at your channels. We're even going to have some of you guys on our podcast. Pretty cool. There really hasn't been many things like this, or especially the way we're doing it really exists. So it's kind of one of the first of its kind, guys. Go check it out. Other than that, I'm done for the day. I'm about to get back in my little dungeon and start filming more videos, kind of catching up, batching things, getting what we just talked about done. Just like Mike said, we do what we say we're doing right now. We're doing it live time, sitting here doing this. So we got to get back to what we're doing. And that, guys, appreciate you taking time. If you made it to this point in the video, the links are down there below. We're looking forward to seeing you. We do these on Thursday nights, 8 Eastern Standard Time, 6 Mountain Standard Time. We do them live on Zoom. And all you have to do is get the link, pop on, and we'll see you there. And other than that, Mike, appreciate you coming on and get back to what you're doing.
Thanks so much, guys. Again, we'll see you in the mastermind. Hopefully these tips helped you. Double down, because this is your time to shine.